Welcome to Whispers in the Woods, a series where we explore the eerie and unexplained. Today we bring you a chilling tale from rural Alabama near the small town of Millry. This is the story of one family's unsettling encounters with the legendary Bigfoot, as told by the man who lived through it all. Millry, a small town with a big mystery. Join us as we delve into the unknown and uncover the secrets hidden in the woods. Prepare yourself for a journey into the heart of darkness.
Hi, I'm James, and I want to share with you an experience from over 20 years ago that still haunts me to this day. It was 1984 and I was 40 years old, living with my wife Martha and our 3 young children in an old, creaky house nestled deep in the woods near Millry, Alabama. We had only moved into the house a few months before the strange occurrences began. The house itself was a relic from the past, with its groaning wooden floors and drafty windows. It was surrounded by dense woods, the kind that make you feel like you're being watched. One night, as I was walking through the woods, I felt an eerie presence, like something was following me. I turned around, but there was nothing there. Yet the feeling of being watched never left me. It was then that I first caught a glimpse of a dark, shadowy figure lurking among the trees. I rushed back to the house, my heart pounding, and told Martha and the kids. They were worried, but tried to reassure me it was just my imagination. But deep down, I knew something was out there, watching us, waiting. Our troubles started with the chickens. Almost every morning we'd find several of them missing without a trace. I thought it might be a fox or some other predator, so I reinforced the coop, but the disappearances continued. Strangely, there were no feathers or blood, just an empty coop. We talked to our neighbors and they had similar stories. Chickens vanishing overnight, no signs of struggle. We even set up night vision cameras hoping to catch the culprit, but all we got were eerie sounds and shadows. Reviewing the footage only deepened the mystery. What could be taking our chickens without leaving a trace? As the days went by, the sense of unease grew. Something was out there and it was watching us. The dogs were the next to act strange. Normally fierce and protective, they began to cower and whimper at night. Sometimes they'd vanish into the woods and wouldn't come back for days. When they did return, they seemed shaken, almost traumatized. Their behavior was completely out of character and it worried us deeply. They'd bark and growl at seemingly nothing, as if sensing an unseen presence. Some dogs even refused to go outside, hiding under furniture instead. Others would pace nervously or scratch at doors, desperate to get inside. They looked exhausted, their sleep fitful and disturbed. We tried to comfort them, but nothing seemed to help. The strange behavior continued, leaving us all on edge. One night, things took a terrifying turn. We were all sitting in the living room when we heard a loud thud against the side of the house. I grabbed my flashlight and went to investigate, but found nothing. As I turned to go back inside, I caught a glimpse of something in the window, a large, shadowy figure with glowing eyes staring right at us. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. The eyes were piercing, almost as if they could see right through me. We huddled together, whispering in fear, unsure of what to do next. Slowly, I backed away from the window, my heart pounding in my chest. The silence outside was deafening, broken only by the rustling of the wind through the trees. We quickly locked the doors and secured the windows, hoping it would keep whatever it was out. That night, none of us slept, haunted by the image of those glowing eyes in the dark. The next morning, we found strange footprints around the house. They were enormous, unlike anything I'd ever seen. That's when I knew this wasn't just an animal, it was something else, something unexplainable. The footprints were so large they dwarfed my own, and they had a strange shape that didn't match any animal I knew of. As the day went on, the fear grew. Every rustle in the leaves, every snap of a twig sent chills down my spine. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched, that whatever made those footprints was still out there, lurking. The sense of dread was overwhelming. We knew we had to find out what it was, but the fear of the unknown kept us on edge. The activity grew more intense. We heard howls at night, and the feeling of being watched became unbearable. Our children were too scared to sleep, and Martha was at her wit's end. It was clear we couldn't stay any longer. We spent hours debating whether to leave or stay, weighing the risks and the unknowns. Every creak and rustle outside made our decision harder, but the safety of our family was paramount. Finally, we decided it was time to go. We packed our essentials and left in the dead of night. As we drove away, the house grew smaller in the rearview mirror, and a sense of relief washed over us. One night, just before we decided to leave for good, I had an encounter that I'll never forget. I was outside checking on the animals when I heard a rustling in the bushes. I turned and saw it, the creature standing not more than 20 feet away. It was massive, with eyes that seemed to glow in the moonlight. We locked eyes for what felt like an eternity before it turned and vanished into the woods. That was the final straw. I took a hesitant step forward, trying to get a better look. The creature let out a low, menacing growl. Fear gripped me, and I instinctively backed away. In a flash, it turned and disappeared into the dense woods. We didn't waste any more time. We packed up and left that very night. The memory of that night still haunts me to this day. But that wasn't the only close encounter. One night, our youngest child, Emily, woke up screaming. She said she saw a massive figure staring through her bedroom window. I rushed to her room, but by the time I got there, the figure was gone. Emily was terrified, and it took hours to calm her down. Seeing the fear in her eyes made it clear that we couldn't stay any longer. She described the figure as having glowing eyes and a menacing presence. I checked the window, but there was no sign of anything unusual. We gathered in the living room, trying to make sense of what happened. Emily clung to me, her small body trembling with fear. We decided it was best to leave the house immediately. We packed our bags and drove away, leaving behind the place we once called home. In our desperation, we even called the sheriff's department. A deputy came out to investigate. He walked around the property, looked at the footprints, and listened to our story. He didn't find anything concrete, but his reaction was telling. He didn't seem surprised at all. In fact, he admitted that we weren't the first to report such incidents in the area. He advised us to be cautious and keep our children close. The deputy took detailed notes of our account, and he even examined some broken branches and disturbed foliage. He communicated with his dispatch, sharing our concerns. Before leaving, he reassured us that they would keep an eye on the area. We felt a bit more at ease, knowing that the authorities were aware and vigilant. Before we left, I shared our experiences with a few of our neighbors, hoping for some explanation or reassurance. To my surprise, they weren't shocked at all. They nodded knowingly and shared their own tales of strange happenings in the area: missing livestock, eerie noises, and fleeting glimpses of a large, shadowy figure. It seemed we weren't the only ones who had encountered the unknown. One neighbor mentioned how their dog had gone missing one night, only to return days later, visibly shaken. Another spoke of finding strange tracks near their property, and a broken fence that seemed to have been torn apart by something powerful. They even pointed out specific spots on a map where these incidents had occurred, creating a chilling pattern. It was clear that the community was aware and prepared, but the sense of unease lingered in the air. We packed up and left after just a year. It was a difficult decision, but we knew it was necessary. Moving away was the only way to regain our peace of mind. The town had become a place of fear and uncertainty for us. To this day, I believe we encountered Bigfoot. The dense woods and eerie nights still haunt my dreams. The memories still send chills down my spine. Every rustle in the woods brings back that night. We've never spoken much about it, but the fear we felt was very real. The experience left a mark on all of us. Leaving Millry was bittersweet, but it was the right choice for our family. We found peace in a new place, far from the shadows of the past.
Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. The legend of Bigfoot in Millry, Alabama has intrigued and mystified many. From the eerie sightings to the unexplained sounds in the woods, the mystery continues to captivate our imaginations. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to Whispers in the Woods. Your support helps us delve deeper into these fascinating tales. Who knows what other mysteries we might uncover together? Stay tuned for more adventures, and remember, the truth is out there, waiting to be discovered. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your mind curious.